There's a version out there of you who doesn't care what people think, that does what needs to be done, how they feel they need to do it, and they actually progress on their goals. But alternatively, there's also a version of you out there that's constantly worried about being judged, that constantly worries about what people will think of them if they go through with what they want to do, that constantly feels that sharing their goals with people is a bit too embarrassing, or they shouldn't have big goals because people think they're being delusional. At the end of the day, you gotta decide which version of you do you want to be, because both of them exist. Might be in your head, but you can always make one of them a reality. Can't have both, can you? Cannot have both. Right. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jones, and I'm a self-improvement YouTuber. And today, we'll be talking about why exactly all you have is you. Right. Now, how do you become the best version of yourself? The you that's actually a go-getter. The you that becomes the person they want to become, not the person set out to be by some people that don't even care about them. Matter of fact, some people might actually care about you, but they don't know what's best for you because only you know that. Right? At the end of the day, you know what needs to be done. Now, first, I'd just like you to identify. Now, this is the first action step, right? Just look at all the things you do as a habit effortlessly. You know, for me, it's actually just going to the gym. I don't have a problem with going to the gym. I don't have a problem working out. Right? It's abnormal for me not to work out for longer than 2 to 3 days. Right? I had to cut down the amount of times I work out because currently I'm just trying to put on weight. I'm on a bulk, right? But it's preferably I'd actually work out every day. So it's abnormal for me not to work out. Right? The only downside to that is that working consistently on my more boring tasks like being on my laptop coding and doing everything else on my laptop is actually a bit boring for me, right? To me, that's actually slightly boring, hence I end up skipping. So the only challenges I have is staying consistent with that or building the momentum to be consistent with being on my laptop and working. At the end of the day, I need to understand that all I have is me, and I need to figure out how to get around that, which is exactly what I'll be discussing. The next action step is taking responsibility. Now, I need to be responsible for myself in the sense that I've now taken into account what I'm good at, so I need to focus a lot less on that because regardless, I'll do it. That's a part of my identity now. But I need a new identity, which is a person that's actually hardworking and works every day, 2 hours to 6 hours to 8 hours. A person that can put in that work every day on their laptop, right? That's the next thing I actually need to be working on. I don't need to focus too much on my bodybuilding goals and or martial arts based goals. I need to be focusing a lot more on my productivity on my laptop, on doing the more boring goals, right? So to do that, now if I was to take you back to when I was about 12, 13, 14, I used to wake up and the first thing I would do in the morning was work out. Either it be go for a run, do some push-ups, just do a workout in the morning. That's how that became a part of my identity, and my body got sculpted to a point where I just I just work out on autopilot. I just need to find something. I just find something to do physically, whether I'm on vacation or whatever. I'm still working out, right? Now, to take that same principle and put it into account, what I'll then do to actually become a more productive person on my laptop is work every day, first thing in the morning. So I wake up around 5 o'clock, 5:15, 5:30. I'm on my laptop and I'm working, right, for about 2 to 3 hours just to instill the habit. and tell myself there is no way out. Because if I leave it for the end of the day, it might not happen. So I went from working out in the morning, because it's now a part of my identity, to actually working out later in the day. Right? That's exactly how I'd go about taking responsibility and taking account for that. Now that I've actually set the systems in place, the one thing I would like you to do, or I would then go ahead and do, is actually take action on it. So that's step number 3. Take action on it. Get up at the time you said you would. Even if you don't get up at the time you said you would. If you have a day free, say it's a weekend, instead of getting up at 5, you get up at 8. Make sure the first thing you do is work on your laptop. Because that's what you said you have a weakness at. That's what you said you're not too good at the moment. That's something you struggle with. So that's the next thing you might want to do. Right? That's how you start to build that new identity. Stack it, habit after habit after habit. You don't get to do the enjoyable task unless you do the less enjoyable task first. Unless you eat the frog, you don't get to have dessert. That's something you need to keep in mind. Now, if I was to sum up everything I said in this video, as number 1, identify what you're good at, what you naturally do as a habit. And then number 2, well, number 1 is identify what you naturally do as a habit. And alongside that, identify what you would like to do as a habit and instill it, preferably first thing in the morning. And then number 2 is take responsibility for that. Identify why that's not happening and see yourself doing it. And by identifying why that's not happening, try and identify how it could happen. After identify how it could happen and how it should happen, go ahead and actually do it. Wake up at the time you said you would wake up. If you don't, that's fine. Still do what you said you ought to do. And so that's it. That's exactly why all you have is you, because you're the one that needs to take action, take responsibility, and you're the one that needs to self-criticize to become the person you need to become. Nonetheless, that's it for today. Stay winning.